it's probably upper 30s. I didn't bring a thermometer with me, but that Finesse jig had sat there for, I don't know, 25-30 seconds. But understand that it's not really just sitting still when a fish like this picks it up. It's sitting on the bottom, and that floating plastic of the crayfish claws is sitting there doing this, just kind of waving its arms saying, how you doing? All right, let's go get another one. That didn't take long to come back for number 2. That was the next cast. Very next cast. And that's what high water does for you. When you can find an eddy like this, there's a bunch of them there, and I'm just sitting on top of them. Not as long, but fat. Hello, fat face. They're beautiful. He's really, I wish you could have the angle on this. They're chameleons, and they change the same color as the water. I'm holding it right against that water, and his scales have chameleon to really that same shade. Thank you. It occurred to me after I cast back in there again, I've caught 2 nice fish on this. I don't think I broke 20 yet, but if I throw in there and the 20 picks it up, yeah, it's a little bit of braided. Gotta retie. It takes less than a minute to retie. With the memory of a lost big fish because you didn't retie, that lasts a little bit longer. The tactic that helps with jig and pig, if it doesn't have a rattle, is to just kind of shake it. I do the same thing with the jerkbait sometimes. You just shiver it. But what that does with that lead head of the jig and pig is it taps against that rock, makes a sound, draws them in. Just, you know, the clicking of a crayfish moving around, banging on stuff, the shell knocking into things, or I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with noises that crayfish make, but it works. It, you know, just taking that lead head and going tick, 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 just shaking it. You don't move it, you don't hop it, you just kind of bounce it, bounce it, bounce it without it moving towards you. I'm looking over in this brush. I bet you I could count 3 or 4 dozen minnows just kind of grouped around right in here. These bass aren't the only thing that has hopped up into this eddy, one of few eddies out here on the river today. Everything's up in here. I've actually had what I wouldn't call a hit, but I think sometimes you drag your line over the back of a fish and it spooks it and it takes off, like a carp or maybe a bass or catfish or something. There's a lot of stuff in here. This within a cast is just teeming with life.